Going to the dashboard. There it is. 1 quick second, guys. All right, here we go. Let that eagle fly. Boom.
Bada bing.
Go ahead and drop this on the Facebook. All right. Drop that bad boy on Facebook. I'll go ahead and put it on my Twitter and on my Instagram. Wait a minute.
Right, that was me. I was getting on the computer. Oh. Now. Let me shut this off of this.
You getting the echo? All right, so we have Alec here, we have Fredo here, we have Kezia here. We need there goes Lewis. Lewis is right there.
There we go.
Everybody get a chance to post it?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool.
Yep, I posted too.
You gonna watch the UFC next week, Fredo? You still watching UFC, or are you like too busy?
I've been pretty busy. There's times where I do. I've really been keeping it to like major events.
But next week, Stylebender's fighting versus Marvin Vettori.
Who have I've never heard of, but maybe I'm not paying attention anymore.
Now he's been in the mix for a minute.
Okay.
I do a podcast with Leon Shabazian, who was Edmund Shabazian's brother. Is that name ring a bell? Edmund Shabazian,
coach.
Yeah.
No, that's their uncle. These are his nephews.
Okay.
Leon and his brother, man. So, but dude just fought last week. He's super high level. But Leon's training right now with Marvin Vettori. He says he was a fucking animal.
Okay.
Marvin gave Israel the best fight so far in the UFC.
He did.
Yeah. I mean, he did a good job. I think that Marvin's game plan is going to be the same game plan he did against Kevin Holland. He's going to try to get him down and try to hold him down. I mean, that's his best bet. You can get him down, you can hold him down, you can win the fight. If not, you probably lose the fight.
Yep. And he realizes this. They're saying that dude's pretty fucking good. They say he's pretty freaky, athletic. He's twitchy, he's strong, pretty well-rounded.
He looks like a big 185er.
He's solid, bro.
He looks big.
He's solid.
I got to roll with Israel when he came through to Atos a couple months back.
Nice.
He's a big guy.
He's long,
yeah, he's a long fucker.
How's his jits?
It's all right.
I mean, is he purple belt level in your opinion?
I mean, depends on what gym we're talking, I guess.
Yeah,
but,
at your
gym. I only rolled with him once, and I had my moments. And who's to say with somebody's tired or something? But
right.
But I think he's working on it for sure.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's all you can ask for, right? He doesn't really have to use it too much, hopefully. You know, in his ideal world, it's just using it to get back up and maybe defensively. So,
but he had a good attitude about it. He was just like jumping in with everybody, which was cool.
That is cool.
You know, I often say that because I do like a MMA, like betting, handicapping podcast, and we talk about black belts. And it seems to me like every single human being in the country of Brazil has a black belt in jiu-jitsu. Every single one. So it's almost like I don't even know how to factor that into like what their real level is, because there's like okay, David Terrell in Northern California. I think he develops really high level jiu-jitsu artists. He doesn't just give out a lot of black belts, but out there with those guys, it seems like everybody gets one.
Yeah, Dave Terrell's got some good guys. You know what I mean? Coming out of there, we train with a few of those guys over at Alpha Male. And, you know, even his blue belts, man, they're defensively sound. You know what I mean? They may not put out a whole lot of offense, but, you know, and if you're going to sub them, you're definitely going to have to work for it.
Yes.
And his higher level guys, his black belts and brown belts, Brady Wickland is nasty. You know what I mean? Brady Wickland's been tapping everybody. You know, black belts all over the place.
Yeah.
You know, so he does. He puts out some good black belts for sure.
He's an underrated guy, I think. I don't think people realize like how high level he is and what he's
Terrell? Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think he gets his just due.
No, he doesn't. He's so good, man. 2003 ADCC. You know, he's really, really good.
Have you seen David Mitchell roll before?
Yep.
That dude's a fucking nutcase. He was badass. He had a nice run.
I rolled with David Mitchell at TAM, you know what I mean, years ago.
Yeah.
You know, I was probably a white belt at the time, but he was good, you know what I mean? He's so strong. He's ungodly strong. I don't know if I've ever felt anyone stronger than him. You know what I mean? Like he grabs a hold of your hand and you're not moving it.
Yeah. I've seen him tap guys like, oh shit, he got that? Okay.
Yeah. He's incredible. I haven't seen him in a while. He went up to the hills, I heard.
I was about to say, I haven't seen him around town.
Yeah.
I've seen him everywhere. I haven't seen him in years now.
Yeah, I heard he went up to the hills and he's just kind of laying low. You know, last I talked to him, you know, he had a lot of head trauma from the MMA stuff and you know, tough guy.
Yeah. Okay, it makes sense. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Lynn's pulling a Conor McGregor. We can just
what's going on?
She's pulling a Conor McGregor showing up late.
Okay, all right.
So
she gonna walk in throwing fake dollar bills. All right. All right, well, it is what it is. Fuck it. Let's get it going, man. Hey, man, what's going on, y'all? This is Beyond with Z, the Smack Guy. This is Smack TV, and I'm excited to get busy with the collaboration with the Arte Suave guys. Great guys, great organization. Going to be joined by 4 of the fighters who are fighting for titles on June 19th here in Sacramento, California. I'm going to bring on one of the promoters, one of the head guys over there. Really good dude, a guy I've known for a long time. You can kind of give us a high level overview to the people who may not be familiar with Arte Suave and this upcoming event. So Fredo, what's up, man? You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Cool.
So what we pretty much do is we try and put on really good jiu-jitsu events. We try and get equally matched guys as much as we can. That's what really differentiates us from other promoters. We really look at styles and matchups, and we match these guys up, try and put on the best jiu-jitsu around. It's not just about matching up, but with weight and belt level, but styles definitely make matchups, just like in MMA. Jiu-jitsu is the same way. One of the large things that we do is every month we do choose an organization, a nonprofit that we donate a large portion of our funds to. And this month, it's an organization that helps people in Africa, and they help provide medical housing for children. So it's a really big driving factor of what we do is that we have a lot of help from different people around the community. I believe everybody that's on this call has done Arte Suave, and they could probably, tell you that the vibe is definitely different from other events. The way I always explain it is we are the sister that isn't pretty but isn't ugly but has got a great personality. We may not have all the flash of like other organizations, but I could tell you the vibe is really cool, and we try and make it a really great experience for our fighters. So uh, everybody who's fighting for a title, I did also send last second. They may hop on, they may not later. The two black belts that are fighting for the 170 belt, Manny Moreno and Fabricio Silva. They may hop on, they may not. I don't know. But Lewis and Alec, both very talented grapplers. They're going to be fighting for the 155-pound belt. Kazaya and Lynn will be fighting for the 120-pound belt. And it'll be a fun show. There's a lot of other great matches, but these will be all 15-minute matches, championship matches. We were deciding on doing no time limit or 15 minutes. But we kind of went the 15-minute route because a lot of these guys are really good and they could probably go on for an hour, and it may run too long if that happens. So yeah, these are talented grapplers, and I'm excited to watch these matches. This is one of my passions, is watching great matches. So that's why we do what we do.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I appreciate you kind of breaking it down. We've had this conversation, but I don't know, man. Like, I'm always extremely impressed by people who follow their passion and are able to carve a way doing that, and also doing it with integrity and giving back to the community. So if I could be sappy for a second, I'm a fan of what you're doing right now, and I'm very appreciative of the opportunity to kind of partner with you and hopefully add more awareness to these people that's out here competing, man.
Thank you.
That being said, so like I said, I'm the Smack God. We're still waiting on one person. We're going to go ahead and get started. A little bit about my background. You want to know what qualifies me to be able to talk to these high-level jiu-jitsu guys? Well, I am a third-degree white belt, so please believe I know my stuff. All right, that being said, I just want to we had an earlier conversation about black belts and levels of black belts, and how a guy like David Terrell is underrated. There's somebody who's not underrated, and also take it a step further back. Like, I love jiu-jitsu. I love tracing back lineages, right? It all traces back to Japan and the samurais, and it's a soft style, and it migrated to Brazil. Starts with Carlos Gracie, Helio Gracie, and I'm bringing this up for a reason because Alec, I'm aware that you've moved from where you were from to go train for Andre Galvão, and that guy has a legit lineage to the source. So kind of talk to me about your decision to relocate and go down there, and just kind of explain, like, how has it worked out? Is it everything you'd hoped it would be? And how do you feel now, like from the time that you got there to now?
Well, so my reason for moving out here originally was I did the trials in 2019 for ADCC, had a little success. And I was thinking I'd really like to kind of make a career shift, at least, if not really pursuing some competitive success that I thought I might be able to make. And so I had a training situation that kind of fell apart. So I was searching for something new, and Josh Hinger was on his podcast, and he said that he had an open spot at his room, and so I was in a place in my life that I wanted to make a change, and so I reached out to him, and thinking maybe the universe will give me something back to kind of confirm what I wanted to do, and he reached back out to me, and I moved out like 3 months before COVID hit, so everything shut down right as I got there, which was kind of good because I don't know if you guys watch any Dragon Ball Z, but it was kind of like I went into a hyperbolic time chamber. Everything else was shut down, but all I could do was train. So just been doing jiu-jitsu for like the last year or so, like with people who I was admiring from afar before and now are my training partners. So as far as how it's going, it's been, kind of the decision of a lifetime. I would say I'm definitely like a completely different person, a completely different jiu-jitsu practitioner than I was a year and a half ago. And it's just been fantastic ever since. Really challenged a lot of holes that I had in my game, a lot of defensive holes. So being able to fill those up, and then, I would say it's gone really well, I guess.
Right on. Right on. And then still speaking of pedigree, Terminator, Lewis, if I understand correctly, and correct me if I ever say anything inaccurate, is that you're under Chris Holsworth right now.
Yeah. Chris
As
Holsworth,
Chad Bingham, right?
Chad Bingham, absolutely. Yeah, Precision.
Okay, so who are you? Are you officially belted under one or the other, or
they actually both gave me the belt? They actually both gave me the belt. They came together and gave me the belt. Here's the reason that is because Chad used to be a coach at Alpha Male, and so I was training under Chad a lot in the gi, and then under Holdsworth no gi. Not that Holdsworth doesn't train in the gi; he's been a black belt since '09. So both guys were, helped me come up since white belt. So I just felt like once Chad left and started his own school that, he's my buddy. So I wanted to be loyal to him as well. And Chris, has been there since day one. So, they both ended up, it was funny. Chad ended up coming from his school to Alpha Male and they gave me the belt there, which was kind of cool. There's a long backstory on that, but it is cool that happened. So both of them.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And this a follow-up question. All right. So Chris Holsworth is, to me, it's like it's almost his story would be sad to me if it didn't have such a happy ending. And it's like he was a hell of a competitor on The Ultimate Fighter. I believe he won the show and then he got a concussion. He's smart enough to realize he didn't want to continue to get concussions, but he's found like a second career. And he's, from everything I've seen, and I'm not at all, like I said, white belt here. But to me, he just seems to have like a mind for teaching the game of jiu-jitsu that's just uncanny and it's super impressive. And I really like the guys he turns out. Can you give me a little bit of insight, like what's his approach? What makes him so good?
So Chris is amazing. He's like 15-0 between his amateur career and his professional career. He won the Ultimate Fighter. He's got like 13 finishes out of 15 fights. The majority of those finishes are submissions. He has a few knockouts as well. He's just a different level guy. You know what I mean? He's been a black belt since 2009. He got his blue belt from Hoist Gracie. Got his purple belt from Henner and Heat On. He got his black belt from Mark Lemon at Cobra Kai. He trained with Jeff Glover and Bill the Grill Cooper for years and years while he was coming up in his MMA career. He got multiple concussions. So he had 4 or 5 concussions leading up to the Ultimate Fighter finale. Got another concussion in the finale. And then, he's talked about it publicly now, but, he got kneed in the back of the head in a boxing sparring round with TJ Dillashaw. He routinely beat TJ up in the training room, you know what I mean? And so again, this has been talked about, so it's not like I'm leaking out information that hasn't already been out there. And TJ's a competitor, you know what I mean? TJ's a competitive dude, and he got pissed off and kneed Chris in the back of the head, gave him another concussion, and Chris had post-concussion syndrome, so he would get dizzy, he would get vertigo. It still comes and goes, I believe. You know what I mean? He doesn't really talk about it too much. As far as him being a coach, man, he's super hands-on. He still corners a lot of the UFC guys, Darren Elkins, Clay Guida. He's cornering those guys. He helps Cody Garbrandt. He's in Cody Garbrandt's corner as well as the trainer. He's hands-on with us too, you know what I mean? So he's training with us every day. He comes to the house. He trains with me here. Kind of the same like Alec, during COVID, we kind of went into a pseudo cave, and just, me, Chris, Dustin Akbari, a lot of us guys just were training, in a basement basically. So I feel the exact same way, a whole year of growth, from, one-on-ones and privates, as well as, Chad's gym kind of opened right when COVID hit. So yeah, he's a great teacher, man. He's constantly studying stuff. We're looking at Gordon Ryan stuff. We're looking at Otto stuff. All the best guys, we're always looking at what they're doing and trying to, emulate that and find the best ways to win.
That's what's up. That's a lot of information. Me and you are going to have another conversation because there's so many things you said that I wanted to fork off on.
Yeah.
We'll have to have another conversation, Lewis. But
absolutely.
I want to kind of move on to Kazaya. Kazaya, so I kind of did a little research on you as well. if I understand correctly, you're actually only 17 years old. And I've seen that you've been competing. You're a purple belt at age 17, and you've been competing against women with a lot more experience. So I just kind of want to know, like, and I guess your back. Let's just say the elephant in the room. Your background is so scary that your opponent didn't even show up.
So,
What's going on with your opponent? Is she afraid? Is she afraid of you? Is that why she's not here? Did you send her a mean DM? Did you make a TikTok? You're 17. You probably did a TikTok and dissed her on TikTok. Where is your opponent? What's going on with your opponent? And outside of that, really no. But the real question I want to know for you is, how did you become a purple belt at age 17? That's pretty fucking nuts.
Well, I've been training for 6 years. I started when I was 11, and when I was 16, I got my blue belt, and I did a couple of competitions, and my professor felt that it was time to give me a purple belt so I could challenge myself in a new aspect, in a new level.
Okay, so I have another question. So you started rolling at age 11.
Yes.
Did you see? Was there a competitor? Was there a? Do you remember the moment? Do you know, like, what was it that kind of drew you to mix to BJJ, or was there a family member?
It was my brother, my
Okay.
younger brother, Isaiah. He was the one who wanted to start jiu-jitsu, and I had seen him training. And so about 6 months after he started training, I decided to start training as well. And so all my siblings do it. And I think that's a big reason why I stuck with it. We all kind of motivate each other and push each other to do better.
Okay. And like I said, Lynn's not here at the moment. I'm sure she's going to show in fashionably late, like you said, Conor McGregor style, doing her thing. Move back over to Alec. Alec, just straight up, how do you see this fight ending? Not this match, I should say, not fight. How do you see this match ending?
one of two ways. Maybe one of no. I would maybe by rear naked choke or heel hook would be probably two paths it would go to. Victory for me.
So you see yourself stopping your opponent, like tapping your opponent.
But I mean, there's no other way.
All right. So same question for you, Terminator. As you look at your opponent, and we're kind of talking about this, I know a lot of people visualize the end. Let's start there. Like, how do you visualize this ending?
Sounds like we're going to do a lot of the same things. You know, I'm looking for back takes and I'm looking for the heel, you know, all day. So that's going to be a fun one, you know. We'll see. You know what I mean? That's where I'm at. I think that I'm going to say the same thing. Heel hook, rear naked choke for me winning it. You know, I'd like to see it go 7-8 minutes.
Okay. So here's another question, follow up to that. The old school jiu-jitsu guys kind of frown on like leg locks, things like that. Like, how do you guys feel? Are you more old school in your approach? You guys both would say, I'm looking for a heel hook. So is it like you just have, it's almost like rap, like old school rap. Motherfuckers had bars, they was rapping that shit. And now it's like mumble rap. And some people hate the mumble rap. Other people have embraced the mumble rap. To me, the leg lock is like the new phase. It's the mumble rap. Like, it's evolving. Are you guys, would you rather that go away and we stick to traditional, or are you like in favor of the new shit?
Definitely in favor of the new shit. It only adds more fire, adds more fun to the match. You know, that old school style of game is really good for negating your opponent, and heel hooks are kind of like more of a shootout. So like it's a little bit more dangerous, but it also is a lot more fun to watch. So I would maybe you know, kind of I wouldn't want to give away too much of my game plan, but one might say that the safer route would be to, you know, pass the guard, smash a little bit, try to take the back or sub from side control, but you know, sometimes you need to throw a heel hook in there to get the win.
Absolutely. I agree with Alec there. You know, I think no-gi submission only grappling, you can't really have it without heel hooks. You know, at this point, you know, you know, I've had people turn down matches with heel hooks, you know what I mean? And it's like, for me, I want the longest time limits that we could have, right? And all the subs legal. I don't see how, you could have it any other way and then declare yourself a winner. You know what I mean? Like if you're going in and you're going, well, we're going to need to do a 7-minute match and we're going to have to do no heel hooks and no toe holds and no knee bars. Like purple belt at IBJJF, you can't do knee bars, you can't do toe holds, you can't do heel hooks. Like really, where you got straight ankle locks and then the rest of the traditional submissions. They got to change that. You know what I mean? And I just think that it's also more exciting to watch. And I think going against a guy like Alec, I watched him go against Eder. He's got some skills. I'm excited for this. I think it's going to be a fan-friendly match. I'm excited to go against the guy with the Atos name on his back. That's always a fun thing. Especially if he's with Hinger and all those guys. It'll be fun. Be a good time.
Hell yeah.
All right. Same question for you, because you probably weren't alive when the old school jiu-jitsu stuff was going on, so you probably know what I'm talking. But no, are you a leg locker? Are you more traditional in your approach? Do you have a thought on the new style versus the old style?
I like to hunt a lot for the legs, and I think I carry that on from my professor because he teaches a lot of leg hunting, and so I tend to look towards the legs, and I also like to work from technical mount to get different submissions from there.
And let me ask, so follow-up question for you is, how do you see your fight ending?
I see my fight ending in me getting a submission for sure.
Any in particular way? You just said you just feel like you're going to win the fight. Is there anything about your opponent that you see like that's a weakness that you can exploit, or is there anything that she has that's a strength that scares you or causes you concern?
I'm definitely going to watch out for my legs when I go against her, but I'm also going to hunt for her legs as well.
I get it. Say less. Lewis, what would you say is Alex's weakest area of his game? Or does he have a weakness that you've seen?
Hard to say. I only seen him roll one time, so it's hard to say. I think from what I've seen, he was aggressive. You know what I mean? He transitioned to, I think it was the omoplata. You know what I mean?
Yes,
and then got the rear naked choke. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. It looked clean. You know what I mean? Nothing but,
Thanks.
respect for the guy. You know what I mean? It looked good. I think I don't really know a whole lot about him. I don't really scout. I just go in there. I'm going to put my game plan together and, go look for the submission. You know what I mean? So I'm assuming the way that I see it is the way that I go into every match is, he's a Rutolo brother for all I know. You know what I mean? We got Alex Rutolo Sachs coming in. I'm looking at it. I don't want to underestimate anybody, so every time I go in there, I'm looking for, him to be the best that I've went against.
All right. Same question for you, Alec. Have you had a chance to study your opponent? Is there anything that you've seen that you would say like, okay, this is something I can exploit without giving up like, your game plan? Or is there anything that he has that concerns? Like, what is it that you feel most you have to watch out for?
I haven't caught anything super recent. I'll admit I did a little Instagram stalking, and it looked like there were matches from way back. So that might not be the most relevant, but maybe less of a weakness and more of a strength of mine, as I know I'm just a cardio machine. I tend to always have that kind of over my opponents, so that'll be a tool that I'll rely on for sure. And like he was saying, I try to be aggressive and push the pace so that not only are my opponents physically exhausted, but they're also mentally exhausted from what I'm throwing at them. And so that'll probably be a big part of my game plan and trying to exploit that.
Okay, you're making me go out of order because I was going to go to Kazaya again. I have a question for her, but very interesting that you tapped on cardio as one of your advantages, and the reputation of Lewis is that he is an absolute cardio freak, and that he is a notoriously hard worker. And I would think if anything, he would hinge his success on, or a large part of his success outside of his instruction, it would be like his dedication to being in shape and always working. So Am I wrong here? Have you faced
right.
Lewis, who you felt like had a cardio advantage, and do you feel like you guys are equal? Is Alec correct in his assumption, or what he's saying here, or do you feel like he's got it wrong?
I hope he's got it right. You know what I mean? We're going to find out on June 19th, you know, because what I can tell you is, you know, I'll go. We can go and go. That's why I'm down for the no time limit. You know what I mean? We can go. And I think Alfredo's right. You put a guy like me and you put a guy like Alec together, it could be an hour-long match. You never know. You know what I mean? I think that we're going to get in there and we're going to find out, you know, and I think I would agree with him. I seen that he looked like he wanted to push the pace, you know, so that's good. You know, that's a good thing. That should be an exciting match. And my cardio is my biggest weapon. So it looks like he's, you know, it's like Alfredo said, he's trying to match up two guys that, you know, are going to, you know, make a good match. And so that's what I'm looking forward to. You know, I'm competing often. So I think I've competed like 12 times this year. You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to this.
That's dope. That's great matchmaking. And Alfredo, is there any way we can, you know, go no time limit on this? Let's go old school wrestling shit. Like no time limit, falls count anywhere.
Yeah.
I would love to do that. Trust me. But we got, man, there's gonna be a ton of long matches because it's all three of the title matches are 15 minutes long. Because I can't do this match be unlimited and then have the other ones not be. And trust me, Lynn and Keziah will be, if they had no time limit, it could possibly go along. Both of those girls have very good cardio. Keziah's last match last month was absolutely insane, and she was pushing the pace. Her and her opponent were both known to push the pace.
So you're picking Keziah to win this fight, then? I mean, this match. I'm sorry, I keep saying fight.
What's that?
You're picking Keziah. That's your official pick.
I'm not gonna say who I think is gonna win.
You're getting in trouble.
I know you're trying to get me in trouble, man. But I will say both are talented, and I was extreme. Keziah could tell you. I personally have told Keziah that I love her jiu-jitsu. Like she's got great jiu-jitsu, and so does Lewis and Alec. It's very rare to find, like, in my opinion, when I see nogi, I see a lot of people depend on their athleticism. But these two nogi matches, they're not only athletic, but they're technical with their nogi game. And that's very difficult to find because, again, like I said, a lot of people rely on athleticism to try, you know, get them by in these matches. And I will say that, again, that Keziah's last match, it was a nogi match, and she looked extremely technical. And it's very difficult to control somebody in nogi because it's, you know, you're able to escape more stuff. She had her opponent in times where I'm like, wow, damn, she cannot get out of that position because she just had her tied up in nogi. It was amazing. So, yes.
Is their match nogi or gi?
Keziah's?
Yeah.
It's nogi.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be – I've never seen Keziah roll, but I've seen Lynn roll. So I think it will be a good match.
What I've seen from Lynn is she's super flowy and smooth transition as well. But for Keziah, question, you know, people are raving about you. Can you just kind of talk to me about your team, San Pedro Fight Club? Talk to me about the instruction. Talk to me about the atmosphere. Talk to me about your partners. Like, what's leading to all of this success at such an early age?
Well, I love the atmosphere at the Fight Club, and everybody there just tries to help and uplift us, and everyone really cares about each other, and we're all savages, and we just go at it with each other, and we just want to make everybody better.
She keeps it simple. So have you had a chance, again, to scout your opponent? What do you think she does really well?
I have not watched much tape on her, but I know that she is really flowy and she attacks from any angle. So I'm really focusing on being aware of where my body is at and like the positions that I'm at to secure the position so I don't get stuck.
And do you have a favorite training partner over there? Let's shout out some of your training partners. Do you have like a favorite person that you roll with over there at San Pedro?
Well, I think that I get good training from everyone in different ways. Right now, my favorite training partner is my younger brother because he doesn't hold back to beat me up and give it all to me.
That's
Siblings are good for that.
That's cool to have. That's cool to have that in the household. So there's no external. Sounds like you're pretty family oriented. Is there an external person? Is there a high level female jiu-jitsu practitioner that gets you excited about the game, or is your passion just more contained to your immediate circle?
I feel like my passion is rooted in my immediate circle, but it also branches out to different figures that I see in jiu-jitsu that have become successful. And I kind of look up to everyone who pushes themselves and goes out in the competition scene and kind of motivates me to do the same as well.
You know, because I feel like you have like media training or something. Like all of your answers are like concise and perfect, and like you'll never be canceled. You'll never be canceled. Is there any? Okay, so the question is, I'll go with Lewis. Is there anybody you've seen compete at Arte Suave who you would want to fight or compete against outside of Alec?
Shoot, yeah. Let me try to think about some people. I've seen a few people. I've been asking actively for the Mike John match, but he's a black belt. You know what I mean? So I would understand if he didn't want to take the match. But I've seen him compete multiple times. Good black belt. I'd love to have that match. Let me see. Who else? Let's see is there any purple belts? I'll take another match with Alika Foster. So that would be a good one. We did it on Submission Pro Tour at 165. He didn't want to do heel hooks, so let's go heel hooks, 155 for the title.
All right. And Alec, by the way, same question for you, but I do want to compliment your mustache.
Thank you.
Any dude with a stash, dude, I know that's a counter. Like you're like counterculture right now.
Try.
You got a stash. Who else like you want to compete against?
I unfortunately I don't have any names that have been competing in the promotion specifically, but if I were to be successful on the 19th, I'd love to, go after like whatever my division in the black belt would be awesome. I would love to get that next title as well, not just be limited to purple belts.
Got that.
Looking for the best of the best.
Same. Yeah. I like that.
I feel it. Keziah, same question for you. After you beat Lynn, who are you going to fight next?
I would like to challenge Barbara to a rematch.
Barbara, did you hear that? Keziah's coming for you.
Barbara.
You're going to get that ass.
What's her last name? Quiros or something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You had a match with her? How'd that go?
It went good. I won by decision, but I would like a chance to rematch her because it was a really fun match, and I would like a chance to finish my match.
Oh, I like that. You won and you want a rematch. I like it. That's cool.
Okay.
No, what you got to say, Keziah, is, Barbara, I'm looking for you.
Coming for you, Barbara.
Where you at, Barbara?
Coming for you. Now, you guys are all like super chill. It's actually kind of cool. Like, I kind of wanted to see it there. You know what's so really cool about Lewis and Alec right now is that even though you guys are competing, it's like you guys are like clones of each other. It's like
definitely no sleeves though.
I mean, I'll be honest.
I want Lewis's sleeves.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Nah, but you guys are like your answers are very similar. You guys are kind of agreeing. It just seems like there's a lot like mutual respect between the two of you guys, and like
Hopefully not too much. A little bit of competitive fire.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
let's
definitely
say
you see us in the room tomorrow, we're fighting. You know what I mean? And then it might be cool afterwards, but it just depends, you know?
Yeah.
yeah, that's gonna like for real. If you're like watching this, like you got to be looking forward to this matchup to see two cardio machines. Two guys are gonna go for it. Not with the bullshit hype of I don't like you and you're a B word and da 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 da. We don't need all that. It's this is a respectful martial art. We both had the same passion, and I get a lot of respect going back and forth between the two of you guys, man. So
Hard not to respect
does
someone.
it for me.
Hard not to respect someone that goes out there and fights. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, like we're all looking at the same goals. He wants to go to ADCC. I want to go to ADCC. You know what I mean? That's really where it's at. We're all both looking for the same goals. We're both trying to, accomplish the same things, and we're both on that path, the journey up towards the top. You've got guys at this gym that are elite. I have guys at my gym that are elite. You know what I mean? So it's going to be a fun match. You know what I mean? Regardless of how it goes. Obviously, I'm going to win. He's going to say he's going to win. That's how it's going to go. And we're going to find out for sure one way or the next on June 19th.
That's right. That's less than 2 weeks away. All right. So final thoughts, Keziah. Any final thoughts? Anything you want to say before we wrap this up?
I just want to thank Arte Suave for inviting me to all these events, and I really enjoy it, and I'm looking forward to putting on a show.
Very well.
Yeah.
I've never met you. I don't know much about you, but again, you sound media trained. You actually sound authentic as well. A very impressive young lady. So I'm looking forward to seeing you compete at the next event. Final thoughts for Alec.
I'm just excited to compete. Also want to thank the promotion for giving me the chance and the opportunity to win a big old shiny ridiculous belt. And I'm looking forward to meeting you on the mats, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah, same. Alfredo's doing big things with this promotion. You know what I mean? We're friends. So, he put this thing together, in the middle of COVID. He got one of the first, I think the first tournament going in California. You know what I mean? Or at least the first submission only going back again. Fight to Win couldn't do it. Nobody else could do it. Alfredo somehow pulled it off. Kelsey, Carter as well, and Justin Wall. Appreciate you guys, man. It's really cool to be able to compete, at home. You know what I mean? Not have to fly all over the damn, country to compete, So it's really awesome.
Sure.
Looking forward to the match with Alec. Looking forward to Keziah's match, you know what I mean? And then Big Boss Man Alfredo's got a match too. So we should have talked a little about that.
Hey.
Actually, a good point. And man, right, we should have talked about Alfredo. Alfredo can, he can kind of be like Mr. McMahon. He can promote it and actually get in the ring, and compete. Alfredo, yeah, I guess let's talk about that. And why are you going to smash this motherfucker? Tell us. We want to know.
It's funny because we got a group of guys, Precision. I mainly train at Precision, and we got a solid group of guys. We're a newer gym, but we all kind of have that same mentality. We want to go after the best guys out there. It's very rare to find such a new gym and have such high talent at the gym and have guys who just get after it. And that's my mentality. It's like I saw this dude put in his application, and I was like, well, I want to compete against him. Well, Lewis knows I competed against a guy who won 2019 No-Gi Worlds. Lewis told me afterwards, because I took the match. I 5 days notice, and I was like, well, I want to compete against this guy because he's obviously good. When I ended up losing in overtime, But I remember Lewis telling me, he's like, I thought you were gonna get your ass whooped, which is fine. The guy's good. But I'm constantly looking for that. I want to know where I stand, and I want to get better. I want my holes in my game to know where my holes are at and get better. Actually, this weekend I was helping ref another tournament, and he calls me up. He's like, "Hey, bro, did you bring your gi?" And I'm like, "I sure did." He's like, "You want a match?" I took a match on 30 minutes notice against a guy who was probably like 15 pounds heavier than me. Had to take it in overtime with him, but I won. I had to do best 2 out of 3 and beat him twice. And it is what it is. I like to compete, and my style is immobilize my opponent and take advantage of any opportunity they give me. I'm very much a counter grappler. So, and again, I really don't care if they know I'm a counter grappler, because I'm still gonna do what I'm gonna do. So I plan on doing that, counter grappling everything that he does, and I'm gonna either get a bow and arrow or a wrist lock. That's how I see it.
Very, very specific.
It is actually my last match that I had.
Wrist locks are the real dirty submission of jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
But they're everywhere. So I'm like, you got to be ready for everything.
You gotta be ready, man. You gotta be ready. Yeah.
Yeah. So this last match that I had like 2 months ago, I actually had to deal with my friend. If I got a bow and arrow, that I was going to give him my win bonus. I didn't get the bow and arrow. I got a wrist lock, but it is what it is. I also injured my knee 3 days before that match, like pretty bad, my LCL. So, yeah.
The match against Tyler was great, man. You kicked butt in that match. You probably should have won the match. You subbed him in the first overtime like 35 seconds, didn't you?
Yeah. It was like
at that point. I was, I've rolled with you a lot. Not that you're not good, but I seen Tyler roll, and Tyler's really, really good. It's funny how the matchup game changes things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And roll against really, really good guys at Blue Belt Worlds. And not that Alfredo rolls against really good guys too. The matchup game, he really shut down everything Tyler wanted to do. It was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Especially when he's busy the whole day. You know what I mean? So he was also working the event. And I think that was the second one.
Is there another fight? Real quick, last final question. Is there another fight on the card that you guys are looking forward to, like outside of your own fight?
Need to pay closer attention to the card.
Manny Moreno. Who's he going against, Alfredo?
Manny Moreno is going against Fabricio Silva. He's the 170 champ. That one should be a good one. Manny is a freaking wizard. That guy, it's amazing. And he's fighting up. He walks around probably like 155, 160.
Manny subbed like his last 5 or 8 guys that he's
yeah, he's won like
and one day he fought Guy, and then 3 matches later fought Nogi and subbed both guys.
Yeah. He took 2 matches in one day.
Both of them underweight too. I think one was at 150, one was at 170.
Yeah. And he actually asked for that. He kept telling me, he's like, I want to compete twice that day. I'm like, bro, I'm trying to get other people on the card. And then somebody ended up Fabricio ended up pulling out against a fight, and he ended up replacing Fabricio. And then, he subbed both guys. But that match and then the main event is going to be really fire. It's Estevan Martinez. He just won 2021 black belt pans or black belt division. Roosterweight, and then Kevin, I'm gonna butcher his last name, Carrasco. Aries black belt, very good, very technical. So very different styles. Kevin has a slower style, very technical. Kevin is very explosive, and obviously very good if he's won adult, no-gi pans. It's going to be in the gi. That'll be fun. But the fun thing is that our organization allows heel hooks in the gi at brown and black belt. So that'll be an interesting dynamic. So
adventurous.
Yeah.
All right, very nice. Well, hey man, I think we knocked it all out. Did I miss anything?
No.
That was cool. This was fun. It's a good
It
idea.
was.
It's a good time.
It was, man. Hey man, like thanks again for having me be a part of this. You guys are all like very like thoughtful, and like your answers are very authentic, and I appreciate just high level people dedicating themselves to a craft. I'm just getting to talk to you guys and hear about your approach is making me already a fan of you guys, and can't wait to see you guys compete against each other. Keziah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing. I'm even more. I have no idea what you even look like, so to see like what you look like and see you compete, like it's going to be exciting to actually see who is Keziah Nunez. And Lynn Lee kind of gave you a little bit of a hard time for not being here. I'm sure she has a good reason for not being here. Say that again.
I said, come on, Lynn, where you at, man?
Yeah, I know, right?
What's up with that?
Yeah, you know, I'm sure she has a good reason. I look forward to speaking to the winners of these matches where you're toting your gold, you're toting your championships. I understand a lot of organizations don't do title belts at Purple, but Arte Suave does. So these are significant matches, and I'm excited to see how this all turns out. So thank you, everybody, for being a part of this. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share this. Tell your friends, tell your family members about this event. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. And we'll do more events like this where we get an opportunity to talk to these guys and girls and get to know more about these people. I think that just gives us the more information we have about something, I think it makes it that much better to watch it and follow it. So
Let's go.
stay tuned, and I'm looking forward to doing more things like this.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Yep. Thank you guys.
Yeah. Good luck, everybody.
Thank you.
Have a good one. Yep.
All right, guys.
Good night.
Smack TV out. Y'all have a good one.
Deuces.